We are talking about the Coloured Raine Berrycute palette. I don't want to make this intro too long. I tend to do that. So we're going to get right into the details about this guy. Coloured Raine is a brand that you can find online at colouredraine.com, or you can buy it at Target, like in person at Target. This is a 6-pan eyeshadow palette with a mirror. There are 3 mattes and 3 shimmers, and this guy's $20. So if you've watched a few of my videos before, especially my eyeshadow palette videos, you will know that this isn't really something that I would tend to grab, especially not at the drugstore, especially the matte to shimmer ratio. I talk about that a lot in my eyeshadow palette reviews or my anti-hauls, that I'm a person who likes a majority matte eyeshadows in a palette and a few really good shimmers. And like, to me, drugstore is like $10, $12 and below. And then there's like the upper drugstore into like the middle range stuff, which is this, which is $20. And this is just not something I would typically grab at the drugstore. For that reason, I kind of had high expectations because it's 6 eyeshadows for $20. It's like, okay, like these kind of have to be good. That was like my mindset going into this. Let's get into like my first impressions. You'll see my first reactions for everything, and then I'm gonna give my full review after using this for 2 weeks at the end. Okay, first we're gonna start with the color Kissberry, which is that orangey color in the bottom left-hand corner, with just a fluffy brush, and we're gonna get that transition started. As you can see, it was so much more pigmented. Like, I dipped in a lot and it was so much more pigmented than I thought it would be, but it blended out so seamlessly. It was really nice. I really do like this color a lot. It's not like too creamsicle orange, but it's almost there. So it gives your look like a cool little like flare almost. Taking that on the lower lash line as well, just kind of on that outer corner, because we're going to end up connecting that a little bit later. Then I'm taking the color Loveberry, which is that darker brown, and I'm packing that on the outer corner with a slightly smaller fluffy brush. Now with this color, I did have a tiny bit of an issue, you'll see later on. I have like a little bit of an issue blending it out, like blending it up into the crease. It did end up blending out pretty good, and it really was only in the place that I first packed it on that it was a little bit more difficult to blend out. So just keep that in mind. It did eventually blend out pretty well. Just know that for the future. It's like really pigmented, so my best advice with this palette is to go in a little bit at a time and just blend it from there, because you can build these up very easily. I'm taking a really small kind of smudging brush or liner brush, and I'm going to pack the Loveberry onto the lower lash line and blend it out with Kissberry, just like I did on the top, and I made sure to connect it to the top part of the eyeshadow look so it looks pretty cohesive. As you can see, it's just kind of a lot of back and forth on this outer corner, just trying to get it really blended and seamless. It was a little bit difficult, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Go in with a little bit at a time and blend from there. You really do have to work with this Loveberry color, but it doesn't get patchy in the process, which is good. So then I'm cutting my crease and I'm putting the duochrome shade Pinkberry all over my lid. I'm kind of doing like my classic smoky eye that I always do. I work up a good smoke, I cut the crease, and then I pack 2 shimmers onto the lid. I put the lightest one, that Pinkberry color, on like the inner half, and then right in the middle to kind of blend the shimmery color and the matte color in the outer corner, I put Palma Berry, which is this gorgeous purple shimmer. Oh my gosh, this is like the prettiest purple shimmer, and it just made that blend into the matte eyeshadow so easily. And then I popped that shimmer onto my lower lash line. Oh my gosh, when I tell you, this is like it's my best work. This, and it's not even anything I did, because it's purely that purple shimmer that is so gorgeous on its own. Dude, pop that on the lower lash line. It is beautiful. So now I'm working on the other eye. As you know, I try to use as many of the shadows as I can. So I'm going in with Purple Berry, and we're going to kind of work this on the inner corner and the outer corner, basically for that halo eye placements. I'm just packing it on with kind of like a more pointed, it's not really a pencil brush, but it's not a blending brush. It's kind of somewhere in between. So I can place the color and kind of blend it out as well. And I work that on the lower lash line as well with just the same brush. You can go in with smaller brushes on the lower lash line. I tend to like my entire look like really blown out, so I just stick with big old brushes. Then I also take the shade Kissberry and just touch it at the very tip, like right at the top of that purple berry color, and it gave it this really cool dimension, and I kind of wasn't expecting that. Looking at them in the pan, you would maybe assume that it would look kind of muddy, but it really did not look muddy at all. It looked so beautiful, and it gave this really cool effect and dimension to the entire look. So then I really wanted to use Platinum Berry, which is the shimmering silver, and I put it on anyway. I kind of had a feeling it was going to be too dark for the center of the lid, and it was. For a halo eye, you really want more of a brighter shade to actually pop in the middle there, but I packed it on anyway, and then I packed Pinkleberry on top, that really light shimmery duochrome, and it actually didn't look horrible. I mean, the Platinum Berry I need to use like and show y'all that on its own, because it is so beautiful completely on its own for like a shimmering smoky eye, but it just wasn't right for like a halo eye. I just threw it on there. So that Pinkleberry on top, again, it's something you would think would be muddy. Like, I thought this eye was totally ruined, but it ended up just giving it like a little bit lighter of a shimmer. It really didn't look horrible in my opinion. So yeah, and of course Platinum Berry, it's me just really testing it out, and it was great. It was very seamless, not patchy, really easy to pack on, and no fallout. So Platinum Berry, still a good color. I really want to do like a silver smoky eye with this color. Oh my gosh, it's gonna look amazing. All right, so I just put some mascara on so you could kind of see a finished look. And this doesn't have a traditional highlighting color for somebody of my skin tone. So I just put on whatever face highlight I had on in my inner corner and my brow bone on each eye, and then popped on some mascara, and that is the completed look for both eyes, I guess. I am so in love with both of them. I think that with the Kissberry on my right eye, it really gave that like gray tone a lot of dimension, and then obviously Classic Smoke on my other eye. I love that, and that Palma Berry really, really shines. I love that color. Okay, so that was my first impression. Like I said, I now at this time, like filming this with this look on, I have been using this like every other day for 2 weeks because I really fell in love with this palette. Oh my gosh. Okay, also, I didn't mention this before, but this is also a color scheme that I don't typically go for. I mean, it just isn't. Like, purples and grays just really aren't my thing. Girl, when I tell you I love this palette. Now, it is not without its like little trickety tricks. This color, I think I mentioned this in like the first impression, Love Berry. I do think you have to work with it a little bit. It's not as easy as the other two matte eyeshadows to blend out, but you can get it there. I mean, to me, this is pretty blended looking. I mean, it looks good, okay? And they're very pigmented, as you could also see in my first impression. I was kind of taken aback by how so pigmented these shadows were. But also, with that, they're so easy to blend out. So easy to blend out. With the exception of this one, it takes a little bit of extra like working, but again, you can get it there. It's beautiful. And what I like is that even though it does take that little bit of extra work, it doesn't get patchy in the process. I have found that in drugstore palettes and high-end palettes that sometimes when you're trying to build up a palette or build up an eyeshadow, it in turn gets patchy, or when you're trying to blend out a very pigmented eyeshadow, it tends to be patchy as you blend it out, and you don't have that problem with this, although that's what I'm saying. While you have to work with it a little bit extra, you don't have that problem of it becoming patchy as you work with it. So it's still a good eyeshadow. Now, this guy, a little bit crumbly, okay? Those are the two, like, not even qualms. It's just things I think you should know before you decide to buy this palette. Beautiful, beautiful duochrome. Now, the other two shimmers in this palette are just like so beautiful. They're not that like duochrome kind of like more chunky formula. Like they're very fine. They're just like that fine eyeshadow that's gonna go all over the lid and be like a pop of color and like a really nice shine. And I don't know if you could see up close, but this purple has these beautiful, very fine flecks of orange in it that's just so beautiful. It catches the light so beautifully. And this gray has like the same type of super fine reflective little flecks in it that are like a purpley blue. So gorgeous. Hopefully you can see that on camera. Like they're not a true duochrome, I wouldn't say. They're just not a true like duochrome formula that you would expect, because I expect a duochrome to be like this, a little bit kind of like crumbly, more chunky of a texture. That's what this one is, and these two aren't quite there. They're like super fine, like I said, super fine, super smooth, and they have a little bit of like a fleck in there that's gonna catch the light and just be so beautiful. And honestly, I like it when companies do this, because I think it makes not an otherwise boring color, because these aren't boring colors, but it makes an otherwise kind of regular shimmer into something very dimensional and very special. You know what I'm saying? Now that I've ranted and raved about this palette, obviously I said it before, and definitely you can tell now that I freaking love this palette. And I would say this is probably a great summer or fall palette, because it kind of gives you both in a way. Because like you can make this eye that I'm wearing right now that's very summer appropriate, I would say, just so beautiful, gonna catch, it's just that peachy glow that you want. And you can also make like this purple, kind of work these three and do this really beautiful sunset eye that's so gorgeous. And then maybe in the fall you can pull more of these four together and just give like a really great fall. So if you don't have something like this, if you want to dabble in color for the summer, this is like the dream. I mean, when I put this purple on my lower lash line, that took that whole look to the next level. So like if you're looking to play in some color, you want some nicer palettes for yourself for the summer, I mean, do this look that I have right now, throw this shimmer on the bottom lash line. Honey, your summer is gonna be good if you do that to your eyeballs, okay? So I love this palette, you guys. I do. And I'm so glad that I picked this one, because they had some other neutral palettes that I could have gotten, but I'm trying not to be such a consumer in that way, to have so many palettes that have essentially the same thing. Like I have other palettes that have nude eyeshadows already, so when I'm testing something new or a new brand to me, I don't want to get a nude palette. I want to get something fun and beautiful and cool, and I'm so glad I did it, because honestly, y'all, I think this is like my new favorite palette in my collection. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, because I do really like that e.l.f. palette that I have, but this is like top three already, and I've had it for 2 weeks. Just saying. That is all I have to say. I'm pretty sure everything that you might want to know will be linked in the description. Not linked, but I list the thing that's on the stuff I use on my face, and my Instagram will be down below. Please follow me on there. Also subscribe if you like my videos. I've been posting weekly, so hopefully you're loving that. Give this video a like if you liked it. Share it with your friends. What else are you supposed to do? Oh yeah, comment and stuff. I said follow me on Instagram. Okay, that is all I have to say. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just have a good one. Bye. Okay, so I'm gonna try the 6-pan eyeshadow. Hello. Hello.
You should feel between me and his back right now.
It's sweaty. Do you like my makeup?
Let me see. Oh yeah, it looks really good.
Yay.
Very pink.
Yes. Well, it's the Berrycute palette, so you'd hope it'd be pink. Who the fuck is that? Hi. You're so cute.
So he was telling me a little bit about that then. Oh,
Stop recording. I need to lighten my teeth. My full what is it called? Review, which I found that in drugstores and high-end video. What am I saying? Baby, he's watching me like a hawk. Every time I have makeup on, he's like,
Who is that?
who is that lady? I know. I tricked your dad too. Because this is like my new favorite palette. I hate you so much. This video is gonna have a long bloopers reel. Oh my goodness.
Did I miss you all that?
What?
Did I miss you?
You did, and you know what was funnier was that you're like, because it's like just a silhouette of what was happening. Okay, I'll leave it at that.